You're right. That's my chair, and one for you.
They're stuck together.
That's all right. I can unstuck them. I'll hold the bottom one and you hold the top. There we go. There. Thank you, Willem. Now we can pretend we're at the beach. It's nice and warm, isn't it?
Look at the white sand on the beach.
The white sand.
Perfectly white.
Oh. Hi, Willem.
Hi.
Thank you for making us a beach. Florida is so good right now. Can feel the warmth of the sun on my face. The quality of light hasn't changed yet, though. We do look like we're in the sun. Maybe the quality of light has changed. Remember when it was... Let's see now, hold on. Before the solstice, how far are we from it now?
It was March the 21st or something.
No, how far are we from the...
For the solstice, 20th December 21st, January 21st, so a month and a bit.
A month and a bit. And so before it...
A month and a half, I would say.
So a month and a half, that would have put it the other direction, what, mid-November?
Mid-September.
What, September?
Yeah.
A month and a half on the other side of the solstice.
Sorry, the solstice. No, that's to be July. Wait a minute.
No, the solstice was the 21st of December.
June, that was June, yeah, the end. 10th of June.
From December, how far are we on both sides? I'm trying to figure out when the quality of light dissipated. Became like we're always out in the dull day instead of ever being bright. So we're now a month and a half after the dullest day, the dullest light. So a month and a half before the dullest light being on the solstice, the 21st of December, a month and a half would be what, the beginning of November? Yeah, about a week into November.
Yeah. Your thoughts go in very many winding and twisted directions.
I am a bit twisted.
To keep up.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so I remember noticing that the light wasn't very bright on a face. It always looked like you were in shadow. Everybody was in shadow. When the bright, full sunlight, standing on the sidewalk, and they looked like it was a cloudy day. I think we still have that sort of amount of sunlight. But it looks very bright, I think because it's reflected so much on the snow. I suppose you could get a sunburn out here.
You could.
I think I'd like to get a sunburn now. That would keep me warm. Can you get a sunburn on your feet?
Oh, yes.
And then your feet would always be warm in the
no,
house.
They would just be painful. And itching.
And itching.
No, it's not a good idea to get a sunburn anywhere.
But it's been so long since I had a sunburn, Willem. You can get a sunburn in the Arctic.
Definitely.
You know that in the summer in the Arctic and in Nunavut, or even down at Baffin Island, the lower part of Baffin Island, the sun just goes around the top of the sky all summer.
The top of the sky?
Yeah.
The horizon?
No, in the summer.
No, it still goes to the horizon. It's not going to go up,
Okay.
It's not up there. No.
All right, it doesn't go up high, but it goes around and around.
Yeah.
So it's always sunny. It's very interesting, isn't it? Sometimes it'll go behind a mountain. Do you know that there's mountains up there? I never knew that. There's a lot of mountains, not all glaciers. And my friend yesterday at Mirror was talking about it, and she was saying that I asked if there were polar bears there, where she goes, not in Iqaluit, but Pang something Tuck. Pangnatuk or something. Anyway, where she goes up there, she says that there's mountains everywhere and that summer is 3 weeks long or maybe 6 weeks long. And every day, and of course because it's light all 24 hours, things grow like crazy. So you can still have a garden because it's so bright. It's, and she says that here, when you see something blooming, like your tulips bloom and they bloom for a week, and then you get your next thing blooming for a week, and then you get your next thing. There, it's by the day. The tulips bloom for a day, the next bush blooms for a day, the next bush. Everything is by the day, and in 3 or 6 weeks it's over. And I asked, what's on the ground when the snow goes away? She said the ground is completely covered with foliage. It's very low, and mosses and such. I remember being in Newfoundland, watching the caribou. And after the caribou left, we got out of the car, and I stood there. Actually, I wanted to get a picture of a flower. So I kneeled down in what was, to me, lichen. It was about a foot deep, maybe 10 inches. I kneeled down there, and my knees got wet. I got really down low to take a picture. I lost all those Newfoundland photos. They're all gone. Such a shame. It's the thing about digital. One move on a huge amount and the whole thing is gone. So important to have paper. Anyway, she said that you can get a terrible sunburn up there. Last night it was 20 degrees colder here than it was at the Arctic. 20 degrees Fahrenheit degrees. 20 colder here than at the Arctic. That's amazing that it could ever be just -9 up there. In Alert. Nobody lives there. It's a military base. Well, there must be military that live there then. Are you listening to me, Willem?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I don't want to feel like I'm just talking into the void. Or are you just avoiding? There's the void and the avoid.
Just imagine that I'm one of your YouTube friends.
I don't kiss my YouTube friends, Willem.
Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. Back to the drawing board.
I'm glad you want to kiss me. That's nice, Willem.
Thank you, dear. Glad you appreciate it.
It's going to come right down on my head. All this snow right above me. It's going to come cascading down and go into my hat, into my hood. There, that's a better sun trap. Boy, that road was cold. Walking up the road, even though it was sunny, the wind was so cold and my cheeks were just frozen. That was interesting yesterday, having to turn back because it was so cold. I love you so much. You're so much fun. The trees, I said, do they have any trees or anything? She says, oh, yes. Well, there was a 12-foot long willow. And however, it was laying on the ground. So that's as long as it got, but nothing grows higher than about a foot. The wind is so strong. Actually, nothing grows at all where the wind is strong. And